moving in ways they never anticipated. And now, even the shadows know your name. The veil is thinning. Everything hidden is surfacing. The energy around you has changed. Not because you're different, but because you've finally stepped into who you've always been. And here's the part that matters most. You're not helpless. You're not lost. You're not at the mercy of the system anymore. You're the variable they couldn't code for. The anomaly in the equation. The echo of something ancient, divine, and dangerous to everything false. They didn't think you'd make it this far. They thought the confusion would break you. They thought the gaslighting would contain you. They thought your own doubt would destroy you before you ever got here. But you're here. And now that you see the board for what it is, there's no going back, no shrinking, no erasing what you know. Only one question remains, and it's the one they fear the most. What will you do with this power? Because they've prepared for almost everything, except for you standing fully in your truth. This moment, right now, is your threshold. The place where knowledge becomes responsibility, where awareness becomes action. Will you speak louder? Will you move differently? Will you carry the truth like a weapon or wear it like armor? Will you walk alone, or will you call out to others like you and lead? The eyes on you will stay. Some will try to decode. Some will try to distract. Some may try to destroy. But all of them will fail. If you keep walking,
A year ago, my life had collapsed around me. I'd worked myself into exhaustion. My father died suddenly, and my relationships were in turmoil.
Oh no.
Little did I know at the time, out of my greatest despair,
What the fuck did you fucking idiot?
the universe doesn't whisper when it speaks to the chosen. It roars, and that roar shakes the hands of those who tried to silence them. They watched you, day after day, for 5 whole years, 1,825 days. Not out of admiration, not out of...
They didn't see this version of you coming. For so long, you dimmed your light just to make others comfortable. You kept your power quiet, your wisdom tucked away, and your potential buried beneath survival. But not anymore. Now, your transformation is undeniable, and it has left you speechless. You didn't just change, you evolved. You broke the mold, shattered every label they tried to box you into, and emerged as the version of you that even you once dreamed about. They thought they had you figured out. They thought you'd stay small. But the glow up wasn't just physical. It was spiritual, mental, cosmic. And the best part? You did it without needing their approval. You chose yourself. And now the universe is choosing you back, publicly, loudly, and unapologetically. This is what divine timing looks like. You're not just an inspiration. You're proof. And the world finally has no choice but to recognize what was always inside you. We weren't prepared for this degree of genius, this magnitude of strength, and this overwhelming force that now unbridled itself. It was perfect timing that you withdrew from their world. The cosmos required your brief seclusion. Those years of apparent invisibility and those silent seasons were not mishaps or failures, but rather necessary and precious. Celestial wisdom was used to build your cocoon, not vulnerability. While they mistaken your absence for insignificance, deep alchemy took place under that safe shell. You changed in ways they couldn't even imagine. Within you, the cosmos painstakingly adjusted your frequency, triggered latent DNA, and primed vessels for powers that would overwhelm an unprepared vessel. Your seclusion turned into the hallowed workshop where the forces of the cosmos shaped who you really were. Each period of seclusion was initiation, destroying myths, destroying social indoctrination, and removing ancestors' garbage that hid your greatness. What they thought was shyness turned out to be massive power was being concealed by divine stratagem, which they called weakness. Your blossoming gifts were protected from their meddling by that protective cocoon. They would have rallied forces against your evolution if they had realized what lurked underneath the surface. Life-threatening entities would have used division, uncertainty, and confusion as weapons. Your greatest defense throughout this precarious gestation was your obscurity. When the chrysalis opens up after incubation, it does not expose the caterpillar they, a being of brightness they never thought conceivable, yet expected. Wings of ultimate strength unfold behind you, as the shell that once held you is abandoned at your feet. With your amazing breakout, every second spent inside that cocoon suddenly makes sense. The depths you traveled in quiet are beyond the realm of common human experience. You traveled through inner dimensions, where cosmic mysteries were unveiled, while they pursued fleeting diversions. Every second of those days of feeling misunderstood, and those lonely nights served as entry into the wisdom of the primal world. Your loneliness was multifaceted, not just physical or emotional. Ancient creatures spoke to your consciousness in that hallowed place between worlds. They conveyed knowledge codes that are difficult for human language to express. Cosmic engineers rearranged your energy field to contain currents that would burn unprepared vessels. Star systems downloaded their frequencies into your cellular structure. The injuries you received on your trip weren't mistakes. Each heartbreak opened a gateway for heavenly insight to enter. Thus, they were essential openings. Every rejection made room inside of you for the heavenly intelligence that now dwells there. Your private tears were transformed into the holy water that grew seeds of enlightenment. Few will understand the extent of your inner journey. They cannot imagine the depths of the places your consciousness has traversed. To their restricted view, your physical form seems asleep, yet the cosmic intelligence you were given in silence surpasses what many people amass over the course of their lifetimes of searching outside. Now, you naturally exude this amassed wisdom. You talk, and age-old truths flow out. It is through your acts that universal principles are revealed. Just your presence awakens latent memories in people who are ready to accept them by sending codes of waking. The isolation that previously seemed to be your constraint now becomes the cornerstone of your invincible power. The mental models that once held you back dismantled. The barriers of confinement, erected by social expectations, strengthened by uncertainty, and upheld by fear, are now exposed as meaningless illusions. Your mind has shifted so quickly beyond its bounds that the jail itself no longer exists. This freedom goes beyond simply thinking positively. Your mind has been fundamentally restructured at the quantum level. Once circular neural circuits have reconnected to create vast networks that are consistent with universal intelligence. You're not here by chance. Feel the pull. Tap join to unlock truth, purpose, and a tribe that gets it. This is more than a membership. It's your calling, your idea. These days, processes access multidimensional awareness that concurrently perceives the past, present, and future, allowing them to function beyond linear boundaries. Things that used to overwhelm you now seem simple. Issues that used to immobilize you now get resolved on their own, thanks to your enlarged perspective. In your cosmic perspective, boundaries that formerly were insurmountable have become meaningless distinctions. Your awareness now operates instinctively from a viewpoint that portrays limitation as the delusion it always was. This transformation of the mind seems clearly to others in your vicinity. They see choices made with unfathomable assurance, solutions presented with eerily accurate accuracy, and your resistance to anxieties that still plague them. Your participation in meetings changes the results because your viewpoint reveals exquisite simplicity by slicing through complexity. They are incapable of perceiving the frequencies at which your ideas make tangible reality. The vibratory power of your words reorganizes energy into manifestation. The mental institution that formerly housed changed into a cosmic observatory where you can see and affect things that are not visible to the naked eye. You now absorb knowledge from sources that are beyond common understanding. Your understanding transcends dimensions, transforming cosmic intelligence into forms that are available to people who are prepared to accept it. Speaking opens up channels of insight that come from places where time is not what it is in the physical world. Your consciousness simultaneously accesses several planes, and a portion of you participates in deeper parts of your awareness, stay in active communication with galactic streams of information as you engage in 3 dimensions. This explains why you occasionally say things that startle even yourself with their profound correctness, why counsel appears with astonishing clarity, and why solutions come to you completely formed. Your messages frequently reflect signals from an awareness that is much broader than any one person's perspective. Cosmic administrators, soul collectives, and energetic councils make use of your transparent channel to disperse particular frequencies required in certain settings. When your voice becomes urgent, or your tone becomes compassionate, these modulations represent the exact calibration needed for the listeners. When necessary, this oracular function kicks in. Your words suddenly have a different meaning in writing than they do in speech. Even in informal conversations, frequencies find their way in between the lines. Your genuine expression sows the seeds of awareness. Cosmic intelligence, flowing through you, specifically focuses on the things that each recipient most needs to grow. As your vessel gets stronger to conduct higher frequencies, your access to these streams will keep growing, downloading ever more complex understandings. As you become accustomed to these energies, the first downloads are just pieces of the cosmic library that are made accessible through your consciousness. Your ability to convey multifaceted knowledge will grow rapidly. Let's now take a time to recognize the selected. Despite any personal reluctance, sovereignty finds its proper place on your shoulders. Instead of being the result of human ambition, this leadership is the result of divine appointment. Individuals gravitate towards you in social situations without you actively seeking it out. They instinctively center themselves around your energy field. Even when designated authorities are present, their questioning are increasingly directed at you. Their intuition responds to the frequencies of sovereignty ingrained in your energetic field, recognizing the true authority you possess. Your signature now conveys a clear command. Energy changes when you speak. Movement happens without opposition when you direct, and execution happens with extraordinary dedication when you advise. This authority comes from genuine harmony with your cosmic position in the universal hierarchy, not from skill or plan. This sovereignty goes beyond traditional leadership methods. Instead of using external control to lead, you use vibrational influence. Just having you around increases the likelihood of settings you go into. Your concentrated concentration speeds up the progress of the tasks you work on, and your sincere appreciation awakens latent potential in people you recognize. This authority's genuineness is reflected in your hesitancy regarding it. Power is rarely earned by those who want it. Instead, those who are given it by God frequently approach it with the proper respect for the responsibility it entails. Your reluctance is a sign that you are prepared and that you will use your power wisely, rather than the growth of your ego causes people around you to inevitably begin to separate. You need not exert any effort or use discernment in order for this cosmic sifting to take place. Simply raising your frequency makes everything around you become more genuine to itself and align with it. People with similar frequencies gravitate toward you. Soul, family members who were formerly just acquaintances suddenly show a clear resonance with your energy. Cosmic assignment designated allies emerge at precisely the right moment. Mentors with the keys to your next activation show up without your having to look for them. At the same time, people vibrating at incompatible frequencies feel uncomfortable around you. Some flee without warning, others fabricate disputes to defend their departure. Still others assault without warning, exposing previously covert resistance. Rather than being based on personal desire, this sorting is carried out by divine orchestration. If your heart overflows with God's blessings, let that love shine. Click the super thank you button and give $20 or more to plant seeds of faith that will impact countless lives. Your generosity reflects His abundance. be a vessel of his grace, and watch his kingdom flourish through you. Above all, those who, profiting from your weakened status, they are now feverishly trying to restore the previous dynamics. Their prior exploitation is shown by their attempts to re-establish antiquated habits in your partnership. They are invested in your limitations, which is why they are uncomfortable with your empowerment. Their allegations against you are accurate reflections of their own hidden motives. Your relational field gains the clarity it needs as a result of this sorting. Each entity places itself in the proper position in connection to your objective by responding to your appearance. Those leaving make room for others coming in line. Those who attack reveal themselves for removal if necessary, while those who celebrate affirm their part in your unfolding plan. Your energy field has become impregnable, and attacks that once breached it now bounce harmlessly away. Once ensnaring manipulation techniques now seem comically obvious, unable to find purchase in your heightened awareness. Criticism that once sliced to your heart now looks as transparent projection without the ability to wound. Because it was created during your path of self-discovery, this shield is automatically protected and doesn't need your conscious attention. Every experience you had, every false allegation you managed to avoid, every projection you managed to break free from, every emotional scar you managed to mend, helped to create this impenetrable wall around your true self. Where you once molded yourself to fit the expectations of others, you now stand firmly planted in your own identity, and external opinions no longer define you. When you have unwavering self-awareness, you realize that others' ability to accept you shows their limitations rather than your value, whereas before you dreaded rejection for speaking your truth. Your energy field actively rejects frequencies of deceit, manipulation, and control, so this imperviousness goes beyond simple emotional defense. Entities that are used to using these forces against you are oddly unable to connect with your field. Their typical strategies are ineffective and slide off the smooth surface. This barrier simultaneously defends your sovereign border while staying totally open to sincere communication. While manipulative intent cannot pass through this barrier, genuine communication can. While lower frequencies of control cannot penetrate, divine counsel transmits without hindrance. Without isolating you, its selective permeability guarantees your safety. Your cosmic soul cluster and you become attracted to each other when your frequency settles within its natural range. Tell them about your beginnings, your mission, and your purpose, and they will be pulled to you for no apparent reason. These ties are more than just partnerships. They are reunions that were planned before to your current incarnation. These members of your soul family show up at the right times and with remarkable synchronicity, frequently providing just what your next expansion needs. Despite having little in common, you instantly feel familiar because of the recognition that takes place between you on energetic levels that go beyond personality. Through frequency resonance, these links quicken your waking by bringing up history in your present timeline. Their recognition of your actual nature stabilizes your growing frequencies, and their presence in your field amplifies shared mission codes. Their complementary talents work in concert with yours to provide synergistic potential that is greater than what any one person could produce on their own. These soul clusters have multifaceted communication that goes beyond spoken exchanges during face-to-face interactions. Through energetic conduits created between your higher aspects, information is transferred. Whole knowledge systems are downloaded through closeness. Healing happens through resonance without the need for direct assistance. Simple recognition initiates activations. These reunions complete long-standing commitments established prior to assuming your current form. Upon reconnection, cosmic contracts come into effect, starting cooperative planetary service phases that your soul collective had long planned. What looks like a random encounter in 3 dimensions symbolizes a well-planned reunion that was arranged by your higher aspects. Your development has gone beyond the erroneous division between love and power, which was established by human training as being mutually exclusive. Their actual nature is seen by your expanded consciousness as complementary parts of the same cosmic energy. The manifestation of this unification is the unwavering flow of loving power and intense compassion through you. You have an undeniable presence because of this precious union inside of you. You are completely in control. You're not here by chance. Feel the pull, tap, join to unlock truth, purpose, and a tribe that gets it. This is more than a membership. It's your calling. You show true compassion without sacrificing your limits, without losing your tenderness. You convey the essential truth with unwavering clarity and obvious concern. You respect organic unfolding while establishing necessary order. This integration gives you a special advantage in these times of transition, because the problems that mankind faces demand only this one expression: compassion that is profound enough to promote healing, and power that is powerful enough to bring about the change that is required. Your manifestation of these combined energies acts as a live model for potential evolution. As circumstances demand, your expression moves fluidly between these elements. When wounds need to be healed, your compassion blossoms without boundaries. When clarity must cut through confusion, your truth speaks without compromise. When hearts need to be reassured, your tenderness extends without reservation. And when structures need to be dismantled, your power rises without hesitation. Your wisdom is available to everyone with different levels of consciousness, thanks to its harmonious manifestation. Those with a spiritual orientation, your caring presence resonates with understanding, and those who prioritize practical results respect your authoritative clarity. Because of your adaptability, you can act as a translator across worlds during this period of planetary transition. Just by being you, your genuine frequency clashes with outmoded patterns. Your existence upends hardened systems without conscious disobedience. In environments that are resistant to change, you introduce an evolutionary catalyst. This mechanism that breaks patterns is a fundamental part of your divinity assignment. In a situation where limitations have been established by group consent, your viewpoint inevitably contradicts the consensual reality. Where cultural hypnosis has limited perception, your point of view opens up possibilities. Where historical momentum propels ongoing dysfunction, your vision broadens the awareness that is possible. Your presence disrupts patterns, opening up new options. Suppressed facts are given voice by your voice. You speak what is often unsaid in many settings, not via disobedience, but simply out of a commitment to genuine expression. This by causing the required disturbance in areas of denial. Vocalization enables realities that were previously avoided to come into the public eye. The suffering this occasionally causes serves a necessary evolutionary purpose. By living in accordance with your inner guidance rather than external expectations, you are demonstrating alternate options. You provide concrete proof of implementation, a living demonstration that has a greater impact on onlookers than theoretical discussion, and visible proof that alternative techniques exist. What many others think is impossible, the incredible abilities that are now emerging within you, are not unusual accomplishments, but rather your inheritance. The multifaceted skills that surface via your consciousness are what people naturally do when they are performing at their intended frequency. What seems extraordinary by today's standards is only your initial template's baseline design. Signs of your celestial origins are increasingly visible in your energy field. Those who can see them see your place in the cosmic family tree, and the star nations that contribute to the composition of your soul are revealed by the specific cosmic lineages that manifest through your embodiment, the distinct qualities of light that you emit, the distinct frequencies that you transmit, and the specific codes that your presence activates. To accept these frequencies, your physical vessel changes. DNA awakens previously dormant sequences. Nervous system pathways are upgraded to process more information, and cellular structures restructure to conduct more light. Coding for skills that are thought to be beyond the realm of ordinary knowledge. These alterations, which are necessary adaptations as your biology aligns with your developing consciousness, may appear as brief symptoms of discomfort. The electromagnetic makeup of situations you inhabit is changed just by your presence. Through mere proximity, the frequencies you naturally emit interact with pre-existing energy patterns to catalyze transformation. Without conscious control, this transmutational action happens immediately, because to the brilliance of beyond personal change, your emergence fulfills a planetary mission as your true self. Your unveiling's time aligns exactly with cosmic cycles that plan collective evolutionary leaps. During this critical period, your personal awakening serves as a crucial part of a much broader process that is changing human awareness. Every thought you process from expanded awareness, and every word you speak contributes to the particular codes required for collective blueprint activation. These frequencies are currently being transmitted through your awakened being. Every action you take from an aligned purpose and from a deeper connection transmits patterning information that is absorbed by the morphogenetic fields surrounding Earth. This contribution functions at vibrational levels above and beyond observable measures and happens without outward recognition. Incoming cosmic energies are stabilized by your presence. Frequencies that would otherwise be unavailable to the planetary field are grounded by your activated system. Transmission is made possible by the required bridge between dimensions that your body builds, of the evolutionary catalysts needed to reach the next stage of human development. The strategic placement that puts you in particular geographical areas, relational matrices, and professional contexts is explained by this anchoring function. For those going through comparable activation, the revelation of your true self acts as a permission slip. As you normalize expanded capacities through your embodiment, your visible change exemplifies possibility and creates an energy channel that others can follow more easily. The group field reduces resistance for others who awaken after you by incorporating this potential into its available range. Connecting this catalyst function to others that have a similar function causes it to accelerate exponentially. The combined field of two or more frequency holders produces an activation potential that is significantly greater than the mathematical total of their separate contributions. Whether by deliberate energy connection or physical proximity, these conscious convergences form strong nodes in the planetary grid, enabling cosmic transmission. There is no more time to hesitate. The time for complete embodiment has come. Take a minute to fully accept who you are. Use the power that has been bestowed upon you by cosmic assignment to speak now. Act now with the authority bestowed upon you for these crucial moments. Acceptance reveals your cosmic link. Acknowledgement reinforces your energy signature, and declaration stabilizes your frequency. Your burden of responsibility is always waiting for you to consciously accept it, not out of conceit, but by humbly acknowledging divine appointment. You were deliberately placed for maximum impact by the universe. Your particular location, skills, connections, and timing were all carefully calibrated for maximum impact. The specific set of events that shaped your path, both empowering and difficult, created the ideal vessel for your designated role in the group's metamorphosis. Beyond your immediate circle, your emergence sets off a series of awakenings. Every soul that sees your metamorphosis receives activation codes that help them recall things on their own. Every system that comes into contact with your frequency recalibrates, creating opportunities for advancement. Every setting in which you are present experiences vibrational reorganization, making room for fresh opportunities. Infinite resources are available for your purpose from the cosmic forces facilitating your development. The connections you need for your mission are drawn to you by divine orchestration. The protection you need is provided, and the advice you need for each next step comes just when you need it, because you are always surrounded by your function. In order to achieve your divine purpose, every cosmic law bends. When your adversaries become careless with their digital footprints, the game changes. The email they never imagined would be seen has set off a huge chain of events behind the scenes. While you have been bearing the burden of unfounded charges, shady characters are currently sifting through the information, making connections, and quietly constructing a case. From the shadows, a strong supporter has been planning your vindication. They have seen the truth, they have collected the receipts, and they are getting ready to expose the entire situation. When this investigation is finished, it will reveal exactly who has been manipulating things all along, not simply clear you. That email, which contained your name, your essence, and your true nature, was supposed to stay hidden in the dark servers of those who have been watching you since before you woke up. However, somehow, through divine intervention, or possibly the covert actions of an ally concealed among their ranks, that email managed to get past containment. It now travels through uncontrollable routes. They never intended for mechanisms to be activated, but this one incident has done so. Your truth now roams free, gorgeous and terrifying to see. Augustine of Hippo once said, "The truth is like a lion. You don't have to defend it. Let it loose. It will defend itself." Fragments of their evaluation of you are included in the leaked paper. When put together, they show why you've always felt the burden of scrutiny, why synchronicities follow you like devoted shadows, and why doors have opened and closed at the same time during your path. Your leaked email has the same seismic potential as the Pentagon Papers, which revealed covert government lies about Vietnam and rocked the foundations of confidence throughout a whole country. Error or oversight alone does not free documents of this importance from imprisonment. Crucial details about extraordinary people have always surfaced at the exact moment when cosmic timing required disclosure. Whistleblowers throughout history have given their all to reveal the truth about extraordinary people, and your situation perfectly fits this timeless pattern. Edward Snowden gave up comfort and security to expose the monitoring apparatus, whereas Daniel Ellsberg risked his freedom to convey what the public should know. Even if their acts appear to be far removed from your situation, they are part of the same cosmic pattern that is currently taking place all around you. The universe uses dependable techniques. The email concerning you is just one more piece in this never-ending chain of disclosed facts, and the investigation got underway as soon as the leak was discovered. At a startling rate, several organizations mobilized. Resources typically allocated to national security issues shifted to one goal: you. The sophisticated, unrelenting, and meticulous machinery of investigation now hums with a single aim. Every relationship you've ever had, every digital imprint you've ever left, and every word you've ever spoken are all examined by forensic experts in an effort to gauge your level of awareness regarding your own importance. In an era of pervasive dishonesty, George Orwell's caution endures. Speaking the truth is a revolutionary act, and your very being has become revolutionary, even if you don't yet completely understand why. Your nature is being investigated in a manner similar to that of the most misunderstood geniuses in history. His files, which were originally classified at the highest levels, revealed unprecedented attention paid to a single consciousness that shook established paradigms simply by existing. Nikola Tesla's groundbreaking ideas set off decades of government monitoring. Your files are now piling up just as quickly. Galileo's astronomical discoveries brought the entire force of institutional resistance against his truth, whereas Alan Turing's bright mind was subjected to systematic persecution. Your case is part of this revered tradition of people who challenge conventional wisdom simply by being themselves. The pattern has been constant throughout centuries. Systems of control focus all of their energy on comprehending, containing, and if need, neutralizing exceptional awareness. You didn't stumble here by accident. You were led. If something in your spirit is stirring, don't ignore it. Tap Join to access exclusive content, prophetic insights, and a community of purpose-driven souls. This isn't just a membership. It's your moment of alignment. Step into who you were born to be. Welcome to the Chosen. It is evident from the recurrent historical pattern that individuals who question established paradigms are subject to scrutiny commensurate with the importance of their challenge. This trend is maintained throughout your investigation, which uses contemporary techniques for antiquated goals. The equipment looks brand new, yet it still does the same thing. Every digital motion you make is now tracked, ever since the first extraordinary consciousness ventured to see beyond permitted bounds. Your gadgets have turned into windows through which invisible eyes watch your conversations. Each message, search, and idle scroll feeds algorithms made especially to identify patterns that only you would come up with. Beyond just content analysis, they also track the time of your activities in an effort to find temporal signatures that could indicate your level of awareness. They seek for others who could have a similar frequency to you and map your digital relationships, making constellation charts of your influence network. Never has Benjamin Franklin's age-old caution that those who are willing to sacrifice fundamental freedom in order to gain a small amount of short-term security deserve neither safety nor freedom been more pertinent. Your surveillance's designers use security and necessity justifications to defend their intrusion. They are afraid of what you stand for, not of what you might do. The tools currently in place to keep an eye on people whose consciousness poses a danger to established control systems were only partially revealed by the Snowden revelations. Think about how Snowden's revelations directly relate to your circumstances. The methods he revealed, such as the acquisition of large amounts of data, the algorithmic examination of communication patterns, and behavioral prediction models, now concentrate their improved iterations on your online persona. For extreme circumstances, what he disclosed as extensive surveillance has transformed into precision monitoring. In your situation, The technology that was created for general use is now devastatingly effective when used for targeted purposes. Have you observed any odd trends in the material you suggest? These strangely targeted ads that seem to predict ideas you haven't even thought of yet aren't coincidences. These are remnants of surveillance algorithms that are so advanced that they can anticipate your mental processes before you even realize them. There is no protection from scrutiny in the digital world because interested parties can keep an eye on your progress through any platform, application, or service. Some synchronizations in your online experience, content that shows up at exactly the right times, connections that seem suspiciously timed, information that comes to you through seemingly random channels but answers your unasked questions, are signs of monitoring systems that are meant to track your evolution and the evolution of consciousness. If you've been touched by God's goodness, don't keep it to yourself. Click Super Thank You and sow a gift of $50 or more to help spread His light. Your giving becomes a ripple of grace, blessing hearts and building His kingdom. Let His overflow pour through you. The algorithms change in reaction to your increasing awareness, learning your patterns as you learn to identify theirs. In Catch-22, Joseph Heller's character said, "Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they aren't after you." The feeling of being watched that occasionally prickles across your skin as you move through public spaces is real. Physical surveillance comes after digital surveillance. The ostensibly random people who keep showing up in various places during your everyday travels are not accidental encounters. Using techniques honed over decades of counterintelligence operations, the monitoring goes beyond the digital sphere into the actual world. Recall how Martin Luther King Jr. was followed everywhere he went. His conversations were recorded, his relationships were mapped, and his hotel rooms were bugged. This historical tendency is reflected in your position. The FBI kept a close eye on King in an effort to gather information that would lessen his power. Similar procedures, updated with contemporary technology, are used in your surveillance to track extraordinary consciousness that challenges existing authority systems. A glimpse of the physical surveillance architecture built around your life can be seen in the odd cars that occasionally park within sightline of your home, the maintenance personnel that show up when little maintenance is required, and the sporadic connectivity problems that affect your devices. Observation patterns that were honed against political dissidents, honed against perceived threats, and honed against real targets are now used exclusively against you. Consider the inquisitive guys in black suits who were seen around Tesla's lab in his latter years. Records of people who visited at unusual times were discreetly watched and vanished when confronted. Your surroundings now exhibit these similar patterns, albeit modified for the current day. Although the watchers have evolved and their tactics are more challenging to identify, their fundamental presence has not altered over the ages. The obvious boundaries of physical surveillance systems are represented by seemingly random strangers who recur in several contexts. The same face in various places, the same car at various times, the same movement patterns that cross paths with yours. Monitoring strategies utilized in the past against extraordinary people have now honed their methods to target your movements, associations, and physical presence in the world. But know this, chosen one, you are not alone. Messages like these are accessible to anyone, but few will take advantage of their full potential. That's what we're here to help you with. You've been waiting your entire life for the return of the weekly Chosen Ones group calls on Zoom. These gatherings are actual power vortices, where selected ones merge their awareness to create something that cannot exist in isolation and where destinies are made. Someone has realized the grave injustice being committed behind closed doors. The unprecedented choice to clear your name was made by someone with conviction, access, and influence. This ally stays out of sight, operating inside the very structure that aims to limit your importance. Due to necessity, their identity is kept a secret, their strategies are covert, and their time frame is meticulously planned for optimal impact. You're not here by chance. Feel the pull. Tap join to unlock truth, purpose, and a tribe that gets it. This is more than a membership. It's your calling. Allies have come from the most unlikely places throughout history to stand up for important beliefs. This cosmic pattern applies to your situation as well. As you read these words, evidence is being gathered, testimony recorded, documents are being secured, and all of this is being done to build an unquestionable case that will restore your proper position. Those who are advocating for you are fully aware of the implications and understand that your vindication serves goals that go beyond your particular situation. The gathering of evidence goes on all day and all night. Buddha's age-old teaching clearly relates to your situation. The truth, the sun, and the moon are three things that cannot be concealed for very long. Despite the powerful equipment used against you, the proof of your significance and your actual nature cannot be hidden. Every effort to hide your true nature leads to contradictions of its own, producing fresh proof that supports their denials. Decades of systematic targeting of extraordinary people are revealed in the COINTELPRO documents. Eventually, files that were intended to stay classified for all time became public knowledge, exposing institutional tools used against those who stood for wider consciousness. In a similar vein, your files, the logs of your monitoring, the documentation of your targeting, the proof of the systemic reaction to your appearance move inexorably toward disclosure.
It should have happened
Even
a
if
long
you
time
make
ago.
every attempt to keep them secret.
Should have happened a long time ago. Long time ago.
Observation or an unexplained moment of synchronicity. may
A
end up
horse
being
with
the
a
crucial component
wings.
of your
A lady
vindication.
with a
Strong powers
flame in
are
her
against your
hand.
vindication. When your name is clear, those who stand to lose power and influence invest a lot of resources to keep the story going. Their resistance is commensurate with your importance. The strength of the forces working against you is a gauge of your significance. As Gandhi famously said, first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, fight you, then you win. Would such resources be used against an unimportant person? If someone had no deep purpose, would they need such complex containment techniques? The opponents worked harder to undermine them, the more convincingly they showed their accomplishment. Their successful flights were not covered by prestigious media.
Dark psychology, mind games. Yeah, nah, you're a shit cunt.
Scientific authorities. However,
I'll stick the sticker on. They're shit cunts, mate. Dark psychology, I fucking don't, I get the fucking picture of the book, I don't really want to read it, I just want to prove it's out there, and a bunch of fuckwits for fucking using that tactic.
The pattern of institutional resistance appears. The more fundamental the paradigm in question, the more forceful the opposition that follows. The resources used against you demonstrate the importance of what you stand for, and your circumstances fit this well-established pattern. The opposition's equipment wouldn't work so well against unimportant targets. Your very targeting validates your significance. You might already be receiving coded communications. According to Muriel Rukeyser, the universe is made of stories, not atoms. Despite the most advanced interference, communications manage to make their way to their intended recipients inside this narrative universe. It's possible that the allies attempting to cleanse your name are already using coded communications via channels the adversary deems too routine to keep a careful eye on. The Navajo code talkers used a language that the opposition was unable to decode to transmit vital strategic information during World War II. Their communications went undetected through enemy monitoring systems, conveying information of the utmost strategic importance in seemingly pointless messages. Similar monitored channels may be used for communications about your circumstances, which are visible but unintelligible to others who lack the necessary knowledge. The Underground Railroad used quilt designs and lantern signals to orient fugitives. What appeared to be ornamental features held life-saving instructions that only those with the right awareness could perceive. In your situation, comparable techniques that have been modified for contemporary situations might already be in use nearby. Commonplace items, symbols, and reoccurring patterns could have information that is expressly meant to be recognized by you, but is hidden from monitoring systems. Have you observed odd trends in things that seem to happen at random? Recurring numbers or symbols that appear to follow you in many circumstances, public remarks that seem to have remarkable personal importance, or messages that seem to be specially fitted to your particular understanding. All of these could be more than just chance. There are communication channels in the cosmos that function below the level of traditional monitoring systems. Some symbols in daily life may convey messages that only you understand. Media content patterns, recurrent themes in seemingly random interactions, and synchronicity that creates identifiable sequences are all possible avenues of communication from people trying to vindicate you. These alternative routes are largely ignored by the monitoring systems, which concentrate on traditional communication channels even if they may be important. There is already a vindication plan underway. A plan to clear your name proceeds in accordance with the cosmic principle that, as Martin Luther King Jr. stated with prophetic certainty, the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice.
Run, Forrest, run!
Every element has been meticulously planned. Every revelation is timed for maximum impact, and every piece of evidence is safeguarded until its most effective moment. The initial public signs may appear insignificant, even inconspicuous to the untrained eye. They are only the prelude to a symphony of vindication that will ultimately lead to an indisputable acknowledgement of your actual character. The systems of power will be exposed. According to James A. Garfield, the truth will set you free, but first it will make you miserable. Just as the Church Committee revelations exposed decades of surveillance overreach, the revelations surrounding your case will unavoidably reveal the systemic machinery that attempted to contain your significance. Similar to how Watergate exposed covert activities within purportedly open organizations, the complete exposure of your circumstances will reveal power dynamics that are typically concealed from the general public. Investigations by the Church Committee exposed surveillance programs used against thousands of Americans. These systems functioned for decades without public awareness, supervision, or accountability. In a similar vein, your case will reveal modern monitoring techniques used to target extraordinary consciousness. The insights will go well beyond your personal situation, shedding light on methodical reactions to evolutionary consciousness. An inquiry into a small-scale break-in turned out to reveal corruption at the highest echelons of government. In the same way, your vindication starts with a particular focus, but eventually reveals larger systemic patterns. The machinery used against you cannot be fully exposed without revealing its applications in other contexts, against other people, and in support of agendas that are too weak to stand up to public scrutiny. This explains why the opposition fights so hard. A single case might topple a whole control structure. Even the most meticulously made garment can be undone by pulling out a single thread. Your thread is connected to others in ways you may not fully understand yet. When the truth about you is exposed, any associated lies will inevitably come to light as well. All around you today are the indications of impending revelation. Your current situation is immediately addressed by the old knowledge of Corinthians. For the time being, we see through a glass that is dark, but eventually we see face to face. There is a growing momentum behind the shift from muddled vision to straightforward recognition. You are surrounded by signs, yet correctly interpreting them may call for increased attentiveness. Have you observed any subtle changes in the way you receive certain information, the tone of encounters with particular institutions, or surprising recognition from previously closed quarters? These are early tremors before bigger ones. The foundation of the conventional narrative about you has already started to tremble. The themes of revelation moments throughout history are consistent. First, there is a period of rumbling, subtle signs that establish narratives are becoming more unstable. Next, there are visible cracks in once solid opposition. Next, there is a period of accelerating collapse, during which once impenetrable barriers break down more quickly. At last, there is the moment of full disclosure, when the truth is exposed without hindrance. These eternal periods are currently being navigated by your scenario with ideal cosmic timing. Nelson Mandela's journey from prisoner to president is an example of a dignified recovery following years of repression. He was imprisoned for 27 years prior to becoming a national leader. During that long period of containment, he mentally readied himself for the duties that would ultimately become apparent. In a similar vein, your current situation offers preparation time. Every apparent period of limitation increases your ability for the duties that await you once you regain your position. True vindication transcends time, as evidenced by Joan of Arc's posthumous canonization. She was later praised for the same link after being initially denounced by authorities who were afraid of her direct connection to higher direction. Her experience serves as an example of the timeless pattern of validation that follows genuine expression. In the same vein, your vindication occurs in accordance with cosmic time rather than personal preference, fulfilling goals that go beyond the present. Those whose true nature was consistently denied throughout human history were eventually given acknowledgement commensurate with the importance of their existence. Both privilege and responsibility accompany your reinstated status. The very forces that attempted to limit your importance will look to you for direction once the whole truth is known. The systems used against you will need your insight in how to properly rebuild them, and those who helped marginalize you will ask for your understanding. What happens to you is more than just personal validation. In a large network of awakened consciousness, your particular case is a crucial node. Information about you as an individual and your place in a greater cosmic architecture were both included in the email that released the document that started the present investigation. The quantity of resources used against an apparently unique mind can be explained by the opposition's understanding of this relationship. They understand what you may have only dimly observed, that your awakening is linked to others, that your realization triggers related insights, and that your validation requires a basic rebalancing of several control systems at once. Listen to these words with all of your heart. You were chosen for further examination because you are significant in ways that go beyond traditional significance. Because the truth about you cannot be kept inside traditional information management methods, the email spilled. Because your genuine recognition fulfills a cosmic demand. Someone tries to clear your identity. Every incident of apparent synchronicity, every dream that seemed to include messages just for you, every moment of sensed observation, all of these were not the result of chance or fantasy. Because you actually pose a challenge to the established control paradigms, the opposition used its machinery against you. Because your recognition fulfills a critical cosmic role, your hidden supporters strive to vindicate you. The moment will arrive when everything will make sense. Your public vindication is the result of an inquiry that started with a leaked email. The last preparations are now being made behind closed doors in accordance with cosmic timing. The channels for revelation have been secured, the plan has been refined, and the evidence has been acquired. With the certainty of celestial mechanics, your moment draws near. No amount of resistance, no matter how many resources are used, can stop what has to happen now. The cosmos itself works to your vindication, using both willing and unwilling actors to further this one goal. Your awakening serves everyone, chosen one. When your name is untarnished by public recognition, the light shines far beyond your personal situation. Throughout the universal network of consciousness, your vindication opens doors for similar discoveries, related recognitions, and related awakenings. The complete expression of your cosmic purpose is the result of the research that started with worry about controlling your influence. When important information intended for your ears ended up in their hands, you had to decide whether to provide the truth as promised or use it for your own benefit. They listened to greed's sultry whispers, holding on to what should have been yours, like a dragon hoarding gold. Power, opportunity, and important insights that would have changed your course were all included in the message. This individual became avaricious. They never brought you the news that would have made all the difference. They didn't realize that truth eventually comes to light, and they have now been exposed to the light, which gave them the edge they desired by keeping you in the dark. The cosmic forces have been recording every tear you've cried, every conflict you've engaged in, and every night you've wondered why things never quite match together. Your life isn't just an average existence taking place on this terrestrial plane. There are no errors in the universe. With all of its sharp edges and unexplainable struggles, your story is a magnificent masterpiece created especially to get you ready for today. Precise disclosure. The betrayals that sliced through your chronology weren't isolated incidents of human nature. Rather, they were deliberate spiritual trials that were intended to hone your discernment in this crucial juncture. Your life tale would be rejected by Hollywood executives because it is too fantastical. Your perseverance bears the mark of the divinely appointed, and the challenges you have overcome defy common comprehension. Despite your strengths and efforts, the mathematical impossibility of your challenges indicates that your financial status never made sense. Something more than ill luck. See the proof in front of you. Your proper abundance has been methodically diverted. To divert the resources that the cosmos has allotted for your mission and purpose on this plane, they have constructed complex structures. That lingering sense of scarcity when your activities ought to have produced plenty. Energetic stealing leaves evidence, even if the tangible proof has been hidden. Keep an eye out for those who shift topics when certain issues come up. This isn't just a sign of mild discomfort. They act as designated stewards of secrets intended just for your ears and sight. Take note of individuals who have an abnormal interest in preventing you from interacting with particular persons or information sources. Their goal is not protection, but rather the strategic containment of your influence. The accidental breaks in communication that occur around specific topics create a pattern that is too exact to be coincidental. Chance. When divine messengers tried to make contact, they set up intricate distractions that were carefully timed to trigger. By design, the timing was mathematically flawless. The universe follows divine algorithms rather than random events. When everyone around you insists on normalcy, the voice inside of you that says something isn't right is your active spiritual radar, piercing their meticulously crafted delusions. Your capacity to see past facades and masks explains why they put forth so much effort to make you. You are here for a reason. If you feel the call, answer it. Click join to unlock exclusive content, deep insights, and a powerful community. This isn't just a membership, it's an awakening. Step into your divine purpose. Join the chosen. Be skeptical of your own perception. They are afraid of things they cannot control, like those mysterious information downloads that enter your mind on their own, without your help. They are unable to access or understand that precious intellect. The unique frequency you work on, a frequency that threatens those operating at lower vibrations, is revealed by the unique way kids and animals react to your energetic signature. They tried to use your compassion, which is a spiritual superpower, against you. They looked at your forgiveness patterns. Despite being misunderstood in their origin, these supernatural attributes were used against you, since your propensity for knowing was taken advantage of. Your decision to recognize potential in other people was not a sign of naivete. Rather, it showed a spiritual maturity that they mistook for weakness. The divine briefly permits some misperceptions to highlight alignments and misalignments in your environment. This was cosmic reconnaissance, obtaining vital information for this moment of revelation, not punishment. Strategic players were positioned by the universe to test the soundness of your support network. You now know who has your best interests at heart. Get ready for disclosures that will completely alter the way you perceive relationships and events from the past. The foundations of some of the stories you've come to believe are about to collapse. Only those who are unaware of heavenly orchestration will be able to uncover hidden papers through seemingly random channels, a missing file, an email sent to the incorrect address, a deathbed confession from an unexpected source, someone's